is finally time. It is finally time, man. Ready for Bryan Mbeumo to join Manchester United. Obviously, the major news dropped yesterday from David Ornstein about Bryan Mbeumo. That bid is over the line. That bid is through. Of course, we're still waiting for that bid to be accepted, but a lot of sources are saying, yo, that bid is expected to be accepted. So Bryan Mbeumo basically, I'll be shocked if Brentford reject like 70 M's, right? Obviously 65 million plus 5 million add-ons. So we heard what David Ornstein had to say about this deal. And the add-ons, somebody explained it a bit more. The add-ons will be achieved with certain criteria. So, hey, Bryan Mbeumo, I'll be shocked if he doesn't genuinely join us. I'll be shocked if he isn't a Manchester United player because at least we can finally focus on other targets because apparently after this we're gonna get a striker and we've been linked to Sesko as well. But hey, I'm just happy that okay, we're finally coming to a conclusion on this, right? If Brentford rejected, we might walk away, but a lot of sources are genuinely saying, yo, this deal is gonna be over the line. This deal is gonna be successful, and I just can't wait to see him as a Manchester United player, man. Just want to see the guy as a Man United player. I just want to see him in preseason. Tomorrow is our first preseason game, so hey, we just need the players to come in, focus on a striker now, focus on a midfielder now. At least Bryan Mbeumo, that stress is about to end, right? If Brentford accept that whole stressful situation is about to end, man, and that's the only thing you want to see. Okay, a situation it has dragged on, man. It has dragged on, this Bryan Mbeumo deal. It has dragged on. It has given people a lot of headaches, and it's just good to see that okay, we're about to finish this, man. And apparently he's not gonna be on a lot of money, so that's another massive addition. But after this, apparently it's Benjamin Sesko. That's the main striker we're being linked to. Hugo Ekitike, he looks like he only wants Liverpool. We know Gyökeres might be genuinely going to Arsenal. We've heard Fabrizio Romano break that deal down. So looks like it might be a situation of Benjamin Sesko. Recently, credible reporters are linking this guy to Manchester United. Credible journalists are linking this man to Manchester United. So Benjamin Sesko, it might be the most realistic situation, right? Apparently he's open to the move, and at least we've gotten this Bryan Mbeumo deal over the line. Now it's almost over the line. Now we can focus on a striker, focus on a midfielder. Of course, some fans will be upset that hey, we've missed out on Gyökeres. Obviously, we missed out on Delap. We missed out on so many strikers. Let's see how credible this Benjamin Sesko deal is, because if we do get a striker, I think it might be maybe three options. Ollie Watkins, we've heard a lot of rumors and links to him. Benjamin Sesko, and probably Calvin Lewin. Let's hope we don't see a situation where we're going for Calvin Lewin, but that looks like it's gonna be the most realistic situation, man. Benjamin Sesko, after all the strikers, we thought it was gonna be somebody like Gyökeres, but he's going to Arsenal. We know, hey, Hugo Ekitike, he wants Liverpool, so we might just be stuck with Benjamin Sesko or a situation of Ollie Watkins. And if the worst comes to worst, it might be a situation of Calvin Lewin for on a free, right? We might see a situation like that, Calvin Lewin on a free. And I know a lot of fans don't want to see a situation where next season Calvin Lewin is your main guy, because Rasmus Højlund looks like he might genuinely leave. AC Milan have inquired about him, and also Inter Milan are really pushing for him. So a lot of clubs in Serie A are coming in for Rasmus Højlund, right? Joshua Zerski, he's expected to stay, but we know the manager doesn't really rate Joshua Zerski extremely highly for him to be starting week in, week out. I think we will get another striker. We will get a main striker. And I genuinely thought it was gonna be Gyökeres, but unfortunately he's going to Arsenal. It might be an Ollie Watkins situation, bro, because look at the players we're buying. We're only buying Premier League proven players. So I genuinely think that's the route they might go for a striker as well. And those Ollie Watkins rumors, Fabrizio Romano came out to talk about it. So it's credible journalists, credible guys talking about all these situations. So yeah, most likely that that's gonna happen, bro. Ollie Watkins to Manchester United, most likely. Maybe I presume that he might be our top target. Ollie Watkins, we know he's Premier League proven. I think he might be ahead of somebody like Benjamin Sesko, because Benjamin Sesko, similar age to Rasmus Højlund, similar. It might be a similar situation where he comes in and then he struggles in the Premier League, and we need somebody that just comes in and just takes us to that next level, man. Because, of course, Benjamin Sesko, he's doing his thing in the Bundesliga, but Premier League, bro, it's a different animal. It is a different animal, and some fans will want somebody that's a bit more experienced, somebody that will take you to that next level, somebody that will deliver week in, week out, right? Because we've also seen with Joshua Zerski, the first few months coming into the Premier League, he struggled a bit. And then he found his form. So, yes, I think we're just in a season where you can't afford to be losing points. You can't afford to be dropping behind, because looking at other teams, what other teams are doing, it's gonna be a very competitive season, right? you can see that the players Liverpool are signing. You can see the players Arsenal, Man City are signing. All these guys, even Tottenham are making business, bro. Kudos, he's joined Tottenham. So our rivals, they are improving every week. So Man United, you gotta get in players that will help you to compete, that will help you just gain points. I think this season is just about gaining points, going to that next level, and getting into a situation where you are competing, bro. I think every fan wants to genuinely get into that situation where this season we are at least competing for top four. And the top four race it's gonna be harder now, right? Tottenham will be back. It looks like Liverpool out in smoke. Looks like Man City ain't playing, right? Even Arsenal looks like they're not playing with Gyökeres, Zubamendi, all these signings they have. So it's gonna be competitive, bro. Cunha and Mbeumo alone, considering the competition, Cunha and Mbeumo alone won't get us top four. I think we need a high-level striker. We might also need a high-level midfielder and probably another goalkeeper, because also for Emi Martinez, we heard Fabrizio Romano coming out to say, no, Emi Martinez, there's really nothing going on. No negotiations, no contact. So that was Fabrizio Romano saying, no. Emi Martinez, there's really nothing going on. And he dropped that news yesterday. No, Emi Martinez, there's really nothing going on. Manchester United, no negotiations between Man United and Aston Villa. We've been linked to a lot of goalkeepers, bro. So I do expect us to get a goalkeeper now that Onana is injured. Apparently, Emi Martinez will not join if Onana stays, but Onana is injured. You can't sell him. He won't really pass his medical. We know Onana, he's going to be injured until the transfer window closes. So we might expect Onana to be here this season. There's no way of selling him if he's injured. So his injury is going to be long. So we are going to get a goalkeeper just based on this. I don't expect a situation where start of the season, first game of the season, it's Altay Bindia, our first goalkeeper. So we will get a goalkeeper. Will it be Emi Martinez? According to Fabrizio Romano, those talks, there's nothing genuinely going on. Nothing, no negotiations have started. That's from Fabrizio Romano. So let's see the goalkeeper we go for. But it's time to get a striker right now. So at least this Bryan Mbeumo deal, we can forget about it. Brentford, just accept the deal so that we can focus on other situations, because look at other clubs, bro. Liverpool, they're doing business. Man City, they've done their business. Even Arsenal, they're doing business. So Man United, you can't go into the start of the season with only one or two players. It's going to be competitive, bro. It's going to be massively competitive. So Fabrizio Romano updating us on that. It's a really good situation, but also, we've been linked to some midfielders, Richard Rios, all these other guys, but we'll see the situation on the midfield, man. We'll see the situation on the midfield. Right now, I think after this Bryan Mbeumo deal, it will be a striker. It will be a high level, top level striker where at least next season he's delivering at least once every 2 games, right? Obviously, it's unrealistic for a striker to score in every game of the Premier League, but at least once in every 2 games, you're getting a goal, something like that. Because right now we've added goals, bro. Bryan Mbeumo, he's a goal machine, right? Cunha, he can contribute with goals. Even Bruno, we know Bruno, he's a guy that can contribute with goals. Amad Diallo, in some games, he's gonna contribute with goals. So we're building a team that can score goals, and that's what we were lacking last season, right? A team that has the ability to score. That's what we were lacking last season. Last season, it was depressing, man. It was depressing. Sometimes you're failing to score goals, or sometimes it's you only start scoring goals after the 70th minute. And sometimes it was a situation where you're just getting outplayed, right? So midfield is another position we gotta genuinely strengthen, because last season should be a wake-up call for Manchester United. Like, hey, right now it's time to deliver. Your rivals are improving. You can't stay behind, bro. Just because we don't have Champions League doesn't mean we don't need to improve the team at the highest level, bro. So, yeah, Onana's injury, at least that might be a positive, bro, because I genuinely believe if Onana wasn't injured, we wouldn't have gone in for a goalkeeper. We would have just stuck with Onana one more season and then just expect the same situation, bro. Because if you stick with Onana, it's gonna be the same situation. Big games, he's gonna make a lot of mistakes, right? In a lot of games, he's gonna make mistakes. So we've already seen it for 2 seasons. Expecting something different, it's just insane, bro. It's just insane. So we just need to go in for a new midfielder, go in for a new goalkeeper, go in for a new striker. I think those are the 3 major positions. If you have a bit of money, maybe a right wing back. We'll see where that what happens with that. But with right wing back, we know Amad Diallo can play there as well. Looks like he won't be playing in the number 10 positions, especially now that Mbeumo is coming in, Cunha is there. So that those number 10 positions, I don't expect Amad Diallo to be playing there. So guys like Mason Mount, it's good. It's good. Bringing in Mbeumo, it means somebody like Mason Mount is gonna be a bench player, and that's an unbelievable situation to be in, right? You got somebody like Mason Mount as your bench player, so we are building a good foundation. But I know some fans, they don't want Benjamin Sesko in, and he's an okay striker, man. He is an okay striker. Is he a first choice, a first guy? I think a lot of fans would want a situation where we go for Mateta. I think that is realistic, bro, because I genuinely think the striker we bring in is gonna be from the Premier League, because look at the players we're signing. Mbeumo from a Premier League club, Cunha from a Premier League club. So there's a pattern to what we're doing, and I'll be shocked if we go for Benjamin Sesko over somebody like a Mateta, over somebody like even Ollie Watkins. I genuinely see us going for a Premier League striker, because we remember Delap, that was realistic. They were really going for Delap. We heard that from Fabrizio Romano, a Premier League player, Delap, so we missed out on that. I genuinely do believe we're gonna go for another Premier League player, right? Whether it's Mateta, whether it's Ollie Watkins, I do genuinely believe those are the top targets. And unfortunately, they might even go for somebody like a Calvin Lewin. I know fans don't want to hear that, but so we don't know what to expect from these guys, the Glazers, the Jim Ratcliffe. We don't know what to expect from these guys because one day they'll bring in a good signing, the next you're questioning, okay, what are they doing? What is happening? Right? One day they'll do something amazing, the next day they are firing a lot of people, and that situation of firing people, yes, it would have made sense if you're not giving jobs to guys like Johnny Evans without experience, guys like Darren Fletcher without experience. You're firing the guys with real credibility, real experience, real real certificates for guys like what Darren Fletcher. So those are questions fans will ask. Okay, you fired this guy to bring in Darren Fletcher, somebody without experience. You fired this guy to bring in Johnny Evans, somebody without experience. So those are decisions some fans will ask. Okay, this is happening. Why has this happened like that? So let's just see what genuinely happens, man. Let's just see what genuinely happens with this striker situation. Looks like it might be game over for Jadon Sancho. Apparently, he came for a payout, and this Jadon Sancho situation has just been stressful for the club, the fans. Bro, I think right now we can already see that okay, Sancho, he doesn't want to play football, bro. He just wants money. According to the reports, I'm not saying this ain't from me. According to the reports, he came for a payout, right? His car was spotted. He came for a payout, and according to the reports, I think those negotiations went south because I don't see a man like Sir Jim giving Jadon Sancho a payout, bro. We know Sir Jim Ratcliffe, he's a bit of a cheapskate, so he'll obviously tell the people negotiating to say, no, we're trying to cut costs. So giving Jadon Sancho a payout, I don't see that as a realistic situation because we know the type of man, we know the type of people that are running Man United, bro. They're not gonna give you money anyhow, anyway. So obviously Jadon Sancho, he came to negotiate for a payout because he doesn't want to lower his wages, bro, but he wants to go to Juventus. That doesn't make sense, bro. Jadon Sancho, just take a pay cut, go to Juventus and play football, bro. It looks like it's not about football for the players now. It's just about money, which of course, as on a human level, you understand it. Okay, yeah, these players, they do play to feed their families, this and that, but overall, Juventus are still gonna give you enough money to feed your family, bro. Don't be selfish, don't be greedy. Just go out there, play your football. If you have a good season at Juve and destroy it, they'll give you a pay rise, right? If you're really as good as you say you are, that money will come back, bro. That money will come back. So it's just about showing your level on the field, right? For Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, looks like him waiting for Barcelona was realistic, and we're hearing more sources, credible Spanish sources, bro. These guys are tier one in Spain. They are looking at Marcus Rashford as a realistic situation. That Rashford to Barca, it looks like it's a realistic situation now, and let's see how that genuinely develops because as fans, we want a situation where we do get rid of the players we're trying to sell. Guys like Garnacho, apparently Garnacho, he's waiting for Chelsea. He's waiting for a Premier League team. Somebody like there was a source I read saying Garnacho might not really take Aston Villa. He wants something like Chelsea in the Champions League. He wants a team in the Champions League. So Garnacho, let's see what happens with that. Apparently Chelsea might go in for him, but the strongest link is Napoli, but he doesn't want to go to Napoli. He wants a Premier League team. So with the Garnacho situation, it's also going to take long until we sell all these players. It's crazy that we're almost over halfway of the transfer window and we still haven't sold any player, right? Tomorrow is our first preseason game and still we haven't sold any player, right? Your only signing is Cunha, first game of the preseason, and possibly Mbeumo. So the window has been slow, bro. The window has been slow, and I genuinely think it's just a situation of just this Brian Mbeumo deal. This deal, we've been so focused on one deal, we've failed to genuinely wrap up other deals. I don't know what's really going on. Omar Barada, try and work on different deals, try and attack different players, try and sell as well, right? Because just because you're negotiating for Bryan Mbeumo, it doesn't mean you can't sell somebody like a Tyrell Malacia, bro. If you offer him to Saudi to negotiate with Saudi teams, you can sell Tyrell Malacia. And this Antony situation as well is taking a twist. We thought he was gonna go for. We thought Antony was gonna go to somebody like Real Betis, but we've raised the price tag, right? Will Real Betis be able to afford Antony now that we've raised his price tag? Because he was doing well in La Liga, bro. He was the face of Real Betis. He was turning up. He got them into a final. So Antony, I understand why the club are raising the price tag for him, right? If they're really serious about this guy, you gotta pay the price, bro. Because obviously, I understand as Man United, we paid a lot for Antony. We don't wanna genuinely go out there and make a massive loss, bro. Because if we sell him for less than 40 M's, Antony was expensive, bro. That's a massive loss, especially after the season he had for Real Betis. It only makes sense that you sell him for a profit. It only makes sense that you sell him for some type of profit, bro. Like, I know we won't get a profit, but at least sell him for something, bro. At least sell him for something. At least sell him for something. Because last season, he was turning up, bro. Face of La Liga, things like that. Face of Real Betis. He got them into a final, scoring a lot of goals. So with Antony, I understand now he has more options. We heard Eric Ten Hag talk about him. They asked Eric Ten Hag, yo, would you take Antony? In some other press conference, he's the new manager of Leverkusen. So they asked him, would you take Antony? He said, no, we're not looking at him right now, maybe in the future. So looks like Ten Hag might come back for Antony in the future or something. But right now, it looks like Antony, we'll see what happens with that situation. Yeah, big up, bro. Big up, bro. Hey, we just want to see Man United compete, bro. Like, I think as fans, we're tired of this situation of week in, week out, week in, week out. Last season was horrendous, bro. Last season was horrendous. We failed to win 2 Premier League games in a row. So at least this season, we want to be going into a season where you're scoring goals, you're winning games. And I genuinely think, okay, if you get in the players we're linked to, get in a proper striker. If it is somebody like a Mateta, you have Mateta, you have Cunha, you have Mbeumo, you have Bruno. I think we can do something against Arsenal first game of the season. I genuinely think that because if you get in a proper midfielder, you already have Bruno there, you have Cunha, you have potentially if you bring in Mateta, potentially you can do something against these teams, bro. I know Arsenal are strengthening, all these other teams are getting better, but as United, bro, we can go to that next level. We can build a team that can compete, bro. I know a lot of fans, they lack optimism for this season. Obviously, lack of spending, lack of genuinely doing anything. But we might get ourselves into a situation where we build an unbelievable team. There's still time, bro. There's still time in the transfer window to rectify our horrible start to this transfer window. There's still time. And I know a lot of fans are against Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And we just have to accept that, hey, this man is here. He's here to stay, bro. I don't see him leaving right or just after a year of buying Manchester United. Obviously, the perfect scenario for United fans would have been, oh, the Qataris, they come in, they pay off all the debt, they wouldn't be selfish with their money. It would have been a better situation. They don't have to borrow money to build a new stadium. So right now, we just have to accept that, okay, yeah, so Jim Ratcliffe, he's here to stay. Let's just apply pressure on these guys, bro, because that's the only way we can get results. Applying pressure on the guys that are already here. Apply pressure on Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Apply pressure on Omar Barada, because right now it's just about getting them to do something, bro. And let's see how the transfer window genuinely ends, because we need something. We need something. And if Benjamin Sesko does come, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked because he's gonna be expensive as well. Benjamin Sesko, he is gonna be expensive. Apparently, he's gonna be over 70 million. So I don't see a situation where you pay 70 M's for Mbeumo. We've already offered them 70 million for Mbeumo. We paid over 60 M's for Cunha, and then another 70 M's for somebody like Benjamin Sesko. I don't see a situation like that, bro. I do not see a situation like that. I think with the striker, we know how Sir Jim Ratcliffe is, bro. We know how Sir Jim Ratcliffe is. He might go for the cheap option. Oh no, Calvin Lewin, you're cheap. Hey, let's go for you. You're free. Let's go for you. So we might even see a situation like that because with Ollie Watkins, he's gonna be expensive as well. And the board, we know they're moving on in a direction of okay, let's bring in young players. We can see Bryan Mbeumo, he's not too old. We can see Cunha, he's not too old. With Ollie Watkins, this guy is almost to that stage where you're trying to he's about to go to Saudi. So Ollie Watkins, he's almost at that age where it's time to think about a Saudi move. So do I see Man United paying a lot of money, something like over 60 million for a player you would have to sell in 2-3 seasons? I don't see a situation like that, bro. Because we can see ambitious wise, are these guys extremely ambitious? The Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers, bro. They're not showing any ambition, bro. They're not showing any ambition. So I would be shocked if they go out there and sign somebody like a Benjamin Sesko, sign somebody like a Gyökeres, because they're just thinking about, hey, what's the best deal for us? So let's see what they do with the striker, bro. I would love somebody like a Mateta. He comes in, the manager would love him, and he fits that Premier League style, right? He already knows the Premier League, and he's just a good striker, bro. He's just a good striker. Hold up plays there. He'll get some goals, and he's not overly selfish as well. So somebody like Mateta would be perfect for this system, this team. But let's see who we go for, bro. Let's genuinely see what we do, who we go for, because as United, we're moving a bit too slow, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. At least Mbeumo is over the line. That's the only thing we can celebrate. This guy is finally here. He's finally almost a United player. And by Wednesday, we're traveling. Oh, sorry, Tuesday, we're traveling to America. So I expect him to be there officially announced by Tuesday. If the bid gets accepted, I think it's not a coincidence that the bid has gone in this week, right? This week, the bid has gone in, and probably the mindset from Manchester United is saying, okay, by next week, Monday, they're gonna probably announce him if the bid gets accepted, and then Tuesday, he's flying with the team to America. So this Brian Mbeumo situation has taken so long. It's taken so much of our time. At least it's almost over the line, and we're just waiting for that. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano, man. Fabrizio, please give us that. Here we go. And then we just focus on preseason. Obviously, the game tomorrow, we do consider it as preseason, but it's more like a friendly. Obviously, Man United, they won't make as much money from the game tomorrow as they will from the games in America. The games in America, those are the ones that produce them a lot of money, bro, because just the overall, just traveling to another country, obviously the sponsors are gonna be coming for Man United a lot. They're gonna do a lot of brand deals. So the tour in America, that's the one where they make a lot of money. I think tomorrow's game, it's more like a friendly. Yes, they'll make some money from it, but not as much as the games in America. So yeah, at least we get to watch Man United tomorrow, man. Let's see Cunha, his first game. Let's see what he's on. Right, Cunha's first game tomorrow. So at least we get to see United play. At least tomorrow is gonna be some football, bro. Cheetah Obi, we've seen this guy training as well. And apparently Ruben Amorim, he wants to lower down the squad, right? Those were the reports. Apparently, hey, Ruben Amorim, he's planning to just take a small squad. That's why he told guys like Rashford, you're not coming back for preseason. He's told these other guys, you're not really coming back. You're saying what? Our new kit. Yeah, we have launched the new kit, bro. The new kit is active, bro. The new kit is active. We have launched that new kit. The away kit. You can order it right now if you want. The away kit on the Man United site, so you can order. It's available right now, bro. The away kit is officially announced. It was announced what, a few days ago. So yeah, that away kit, it looks good, bro. It does look good, but Ruben Amorim, apparently he's trying to slim down the squad, right? He's not gonna take a lot of players, even some academy players. He's told them to stay. So when we go to America, it won't be a full team, bro. It won't be a full team. Obviously, Sancho, these other guys, Garnacho, they're not gonna travel for the America tour. So it's gonna be a small squad, bro. It's gonna be a small squad, and yeah, he's looking to just replicate what's coming in the Premier League season, right? Because Premier League season, we're only playing one game a week, no European football, so he's trying to slim down the squad to just build a foundation. Let's see how his first 5 games go, because we do have hard teams, extremely hard teams in the first 5 games. So Ruben Amorim, let's just hope we start the season well. Let's just hope we have a good season. And although some fans say, "Hey, preseason, it's irrelevant. It doesn't do anything," but you just have to consider that, okay, games in preseason, that's where you just get, it's about fitness, bro. That's what I view preseason for. It's about fitness. It's just about gaining your fitness, getting ready before the main show, before the Premier League, right? That's what I view preseason as. It's just small games to get your fitness up, to get your match fitness up. It's not really. I know some fans, they view preseason, this is useless, this is irrelevant. Why do we have preseason? But I view preseason as a situation where you can get your fitness up, bro. You can get ready for the main show, the main the main event, the Premier League season. So I think preseason does have its benefit, bro. Like, it is beneficial to just get your fitness up, and for the new players to get to know your new team. So preseason has its benefits, bro. It's not completely useless. It's not completely I know the games, some of the games are not competitive. We see some of the games, okay, academy players come in, come out, but it's also to raise their value as well, right? If an academy player does well in preseason, you can loan him out, bro. You can loan him out, and probably a championship player, a championship team will come in and say, "Yo, this academy player, he's done well in their preseason. Let's try and loan him out. Let's try and get him in." So preseason has its benefits, bro. It's not completely useless. It's not completely done and dusted. I know a lot of fans don't really like preseason, but it has its benefits. You get your fitness up. Players that haven't, like academy players, you get your value up. You get eyes on you as well. So preseason has its benefits, bro. And Joshua Zerski, let's see the type of season he has, because if we do sign a new striker, he's gonna be the B choice, second choice. So this season, I don't really see a situation where Zerski's playing a lot of games. Looks like if we do get that new striker, he's gonna be a substitute. So let's see how the season overall goes, bro. So tomorrow, new season, sorry, new preseason starts. We're playing Leeds. At least that's an exciting situation. Let's hope we do win that game. But yeah, Ish, I just appreciate everybody that joined the stream, man. Let's hope. Excited for tomorrow. Excited for just seeing the players, man. Guys like Amad Diallo, bro. Amad, do something in preseason. Do something this season. So just excited that, okay, Man United, we are back. It's just time to get that match fitness up and try to do something during the season, try to perform, try to beat Arsenal first game of the season, shock Chelsea, because even Chelsea, I forgot to say, Chelsea, they're also building an unbelievable team. So our rivals, bro, they are improving. The Premier League is going to be crazy this season. Premier League is going to be insane this season, because you can see the team Chelsea are building. Arsenal are building a better team. Liverpool, all our rivals are improving, bro. Even Newcastle, they're gonna improve. So it's gonna be a crazy, crazy season. It's gonna be a crazy season, but let's just hope it's not like last season where we're losing week in, week out. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that joined the stream, man, and we just pray that Man United are back to winning ways, bro. That's all we want as fans, bro. Regardless of this situation, that situation, we just want to be in a situation where one day we win the Premier League again. One day we win the Champions League again. And it starts now. Build the foundation now. And then later, you can genuinely start celebrating, bro. Celebrate what you're building. Because just imagine you build that foundation now, it's going to make sense for the future, right? In the future, you will benefit as Manchester United. Start building the foundation now so that at least in 2-3 seasons, all you have to add is one or two players to compete for the league, one or two players to compete for the Champions League. So at least now, I view this as a phase to just build the foundation, right? We had our worst ever season. Rebuild the foundation, bro. Okay, you've seen, okay, guys like Rashford, they won't offer anything. Sancho, he won't offer anything. Garnacho, he won't offer anything. Bring in new faces, bring in new life, build a better foundation. I genuinely see this season as a season to just build the foundation, and then next season, we see where we're at, bro. We see where we're at because even Xavi Alonso, right, the Real Madrid manager, he got a wake up call of, and the